Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Bobby. And today I have a couple of things for you. Number one, a featured exercise. And number two, I'm going to talk about how to use your membership card to get into Paseo Fitness, because I realize that's been a source of confusion. First, the exercise I'd like to talk about is the push-up. Now, if you're one of these people who feels like you simply can't do a push-up, maybe it's true that at this particular time, you can't do a push-up in its most extreme version. But there's a modification you can do. So let's talk about first what a push-up is, and let me get down here on the floor and show you what might be considered the ideal way to do a push-up. The push-up works 4 different areas. It works your chest, also works your anterior delt, that's the front of your shoulder, your tricep, and then also your rectus abdominis, which is basically your abs. Because you're holding a plank the whole time you're doing a push-up too. And so while at first glance you don't think about it as being a core workout, it is. It's a wonderful exercise. Now, ideally what you do is you create a straight line all the way from the back of your head all the way to your heels, all right? So if you look like a TP or you've got a little sag here, then you need to work on your form. Once I get in this position, I want to try to keep my elbows close to my body, and what are equidistant to the floor at the bottom of the rep are both my chest and my thighs. Now, some people will touch. I don't feel like you have to, all right? So the elbows get near the rib cage, and the chest and the thighs come equidistant to the floor and back up. Now, the things you've got to be mindful of and the things you've got to be careful about, you might not hurt yourself doing it this way, but there's more wear and tear on your shoulders when you get your elbows out flaring in this position. So if you can, it's not absolutely essential, but it's a good idea. It's part of good form. If you try to keep your elbows close to your body on the way up and down. All right, now so that would be a traditional push-up. But if you can't do that, it's no big deal at all. What would then be a wonderful modification? Well, I've told you in the past that this Smith machine is terrific, not just for the exercises it was designed to do, but also for a variety of other exercises. One of them is a push-up. And the rudiments of form are the same. And that is, you want to get your elbows in a position where they can come beside your body as you do this, and then try to create that straight line from the back of your head down through your tail, and then also to your heels. Now, my heels are actually lifting up off the ground as I do this. In other words, I'm not doing this, because what happens when you keep your feet flat on the floor is your tail end starts to come up and you lose all your form. So I want to have a straight line, my heels are up off the ground, and they become more off the ground as I push this right toward the base of my rib cage here. Down there around your 11th and 12th rib, all the way down here at the bottom. I wasn't close enough. All right, and that's what you do. You take a couple of push-ups and go, where does that hit? Good, that's right below the breast line. That's exactly where I want to be. Now, if you can't do it at whatever height this is, then you do the same thing just a little higher. Measure it, make sure it's hitting you there right around the xiphoid process, right around the solar plexus, just below the rib cage. And again, straight line, none of this. Try to let your whole body become equidistant to this plane of this bar, and that's a push-up. Now, if someone who is super fit can do 40 push-ups on the ground, and all you can muster would be 40 push-ups from up here, you're getting the exact same workout. So let's not believe that our more capable brother or sister, just because they can do them here, is getting a greater benefit. You will derive just as much benefit from doing whatever kind of push-up you can do, elevated, and then reward yourself later by eventually dropping this thing. You'll get just as much reward as anybody else. And so that's the big deal. Push-ups are great. You can do them nearly every day because they're body weight exercises. They're not like handling barbells and things where you've got to give yourself a little bit of a break. Your body can handle those most every day. And I would say 3 sets of 25 would be a great way to start, eventually lowering this until you find yourself on the ground and you're doing regular push-ups. So I want to thank you for watching that. Let's go downstairs and I'm going to talk to you about how to use your key to get in this place. Okay, let's talk about how to get here whenever it's not normal business hours and you need your key to get in. First of all, it's your membership card. Not the side that says the club, but the back side. And you're just going to take this thing and sort of swipe it right along that. Now, I got the red dot. If I just keep doing it, it's not going to do that. Wait till it stops, and then do it again. Notice I got green and red. It's ready to go. Now, there are some times that the sun is so bright that you can't see this, so you got to look a little bit harder. And I just really put my eyes there right there, and I look for that green light because it's red and green when it's not going, and it's red when it's not going, and red and green. Oop, that didn't work. That's yellow. That's not going to do it. I'm looking for red and green. When I get red and green, I'm in business. So I'm sorry if that's ever caused any confusion. And I also recognize and understand the frustration you do feel if you just can't see it, but you've got to get a little closer, maybe cup it a little bit, and you can look for that red and green, you'll get in. Thanks for watching. See you next week.